What is up, everybody? Welcome to the AM Hookah podcast. We're live in 3, 2, 1.
What is up, Midnight Tokers, Afternoon Hailers, and AM Hookah Smokers? This is the AM Hookah podcast, your weekly hookah podcast every Monday at 6:30 Central Time, talking about the world of hookah right here on YouTube and Twitch. I am the M in the AM, and with me is the man who at one time... Hold on, I gotta get this ready. Okay, here we go. The man who one time created an aggro mono blue deck to take on a control red deck to win the grand championships. Adrian Hunter, how you doing this week, my friend?
That came pretty close to making sense. It did.
That wasn't terrible.
It did. It came close. I'm doing well, Matt. Hanging out as usual. I'm the reason we're 8 minutes late. Sorry, guys. Welcome to the AM Hookah podcast.
No, it's fine. Things happen. I've caused enough stress and technical difficulties in the time that we've been doing the show that I think it's okay when you sometimes do it. I think that's totally all right. So here's the thing. I wanted to ask you, mono blue. Aggro mono blue is not usually, so in case anyone doesn't know what that reference was to, is Adrian loves to play Magic the Gathering, and he's very good at it, and I know you like to play a little bit of blue control, correct?
Yeah, favorite archetype.
Exactly, okay, so, but a blue aggro is sometimes thought of as being like counterintuitive, correct?
Yes.
Where red control, I guess red control is still kind of something that's used often because you can control the lands and the mana and the monsters and stuff like that. So maybe that, what would be the opposite of a red deck? What would be the opposite of that?
A blue deck.
A blue, well, yeah, but what kind of architecture is what I mean for when it comes to red?
Red decks are really, really fast. Blue decks are really, really slow.
So a red control would be kind of counterintuitive to a point.
Correct.
Okay. So yeah. I did okay on those two then.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if anyone understands what we're talking about.
Magic the Gathering, guys. We do more things than smoke hookah, okay? We also play video games and card games sometimes.
Shaka.
Or
who disliked this video?
I don't know. Oh, somebody disliked it? We had somebody dislike it last week, too. Sure. Somebody is coming in here just to dislike the video, and then they probably take off. And I want to say thank you, because I find that to be really funny, honestly. Like,
yeah, it's fine.
It's
me.
So. If we're getting under somebody's skin, I feel like we're doing something right. That's a positive thing, honestly. All right, so we got a lot of fun things planned for this week. I wanted to ask you, though, Adrian, before we get too far into it, is what are some other ways that people can keep up with the podcast if they are interested in following up on what we're doing as a podcast?
There's all kinds of ways to keep up on what we're doing with the podcast. You can check out Facebook. We're on 2 places in Facebook now. Did you know that, Matt?
I did know that, mainly because I think I created them.
That is true. I can't be bothered to create anything. But Matt created 2 places. There's an AM Hookah group, and there's an AM Hookah podcast page. You can enter the group so you can submit all your sweet pictures for our Instagram account because we steal content with your permission, of course, which
all the time
makes it not theft. And then the page, we do a lot of updates and stuff from there. So definitely go check out both of those. Obviously, we're on Instagram as well.
Yes. But, you know, a really big thing about today's episode, because this week we're going to be talking about a couple things. We're going to be talking about tax time. As you know, what's today? Today is tax day. And if you have not already filed by the time you're listening to the show, I hope you plan on moving away because the taxman is probably coming for you. But if you did file your taxes correctly and you're waiting for that fat return, that PH fat return on your money, then we have some ideas of how you might be able to spend that towards hookah-related stuff. Let's also take a look at hookah lounges. Maybe have a little bit of fun at that. What makes a good lounge? What is a good time that you've spent at a lounge before? And this topic, when it comes to lounges, we are actually bringing it up because it was something that was talked about in the Facebook group today. So if you have some ideas and thoughts and you want to get out there and start a conversation, especially in our group, man, we really appreciate that. And if it's a good idea, we'll throw it here on the show and we'll talk about it more in depth. So make sure you go over and check out the page and the group over on Facebook. Also, as Adrian said, we have the Instagram, we have a Twitter account as well that we try to use every once in a while. Mainly, I just talk to Bilu a lot on Twitter. That's mainly what I do for the most part. But before we get into all that fun, we're also going to take your calls a little bit later on as well, talk to you guys about hookah lounges and such. And before we get into any of that stuff, we're going to go ahead and talk to our wonderful producer, Mr. Bracken Cox. Bracken, are you there, Bracken? We have the Brack Cam on right now. Can you hear us, Mr. Bracken Cox?
Bueller.
Oh, great. Wow, this is swimming. This is a great reference to what is that damn show called? What is it? Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's what it's called. I couldn't think of the name for some reason.
Ask what the movie is?
I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. Okay, I'm sorry. How are you doing today, Bracken?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Matt. Good to be here. Good to see you. Adrian, as always, like the long hair. Your hair's growing a little bit longer than mine out in the front, so the flow is a little swoopy at the bottom. But don't worry, I'm catching up.
Yeah, you got it. I'm not gonna cut it at all. So hopefully by the time Vegas rolls around, it's down to the middle of my back.
Well, I'm not gonna grow it that long, but
I'll put it in a giant man bun. We'll be fine.
Oh, that would look sexy. I can't wait to see that. Bracken, what do you think of this new look for my man cave that I have going on right now? My office.
Is that where we are? We're in the man cave?
This is my man cave. This is my office / man cave.
Can we rename it?
What could we name it? What would be a good name for Matt's man cave?
Can we call it the corn silo?
The corn silo. Do you like this over here? This is the AM Hookah corn logo on the side. You can get a shirt with this on it, or a pillow, or stickers if you want to over at our Teespring. You can go check out this wonderful corn logo. This was made by a very good friend of us. Do you know who made this, Bracken?
I do, but you should tell everybody who made it.
Oh, this was made by our wonderful friend over at the wonderful place over at Hookah University. This was made by fantastic Travis Leader. We asked him and commissioned him to do us an awesome piece, and we really, really do appreciate that an absolute ton. I think it's fantastic looking. I really like it a whole lot. I think it's really cool. Oh my gosh, I forgot to turn off the heist, and somebody's already doing a heist. So everybody get in your heist right now if you want to do a heist, because I'm going to be turning it off.
Turn it off.
I can't turn it off now because somebody's already spent some money in it. So
all right.
I will not turn it off until the heist is over. But if you guys want to get in on this heist, okay, if you want to, I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. Type in !HEIST and then put in a dollar amount that you want to, and you'll actually be kind of gambling your money a little bit. I'm going to turn it off after this heist is over. So there's going to be no more heisting. The heist is only for the Gamecast and technical difficulties. It's something fun that we like to do for those two shows, obviously. But yeah, it all revolves around our Bulls currency that we have here on the AM Hookah Podcast. What can people use for the Bulls currency here on the AM Hookah Podcast, Mr. Bracken?
I mean, right now they can use them to play games.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you have a lot of bowls, you probably have, a big collection of bowls. So everybody can look at it and say, wow, that's a big collection of bowls.
Yeah, I guess that is something that could be done with it. Is there anything
in the future? We'll probably end up doing something really cool with them. Right now, we want to see kind of what the amount of bowls is that people are kind of collecting. What's the high end and the low end? Mm-hmm. Kind of getting a feel on what our active listeners have and what the people who don't listen have, because we want to find something kind of in the happy medium that we can use to. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some discount codes or some promotions or some freebies. You could use it for giveaways. I don't know, but all I'm saying is, just by watching the show, you're going to earn bowls.
Yeah,
so
very true.
You're not a gambling person. Just tune in, watch the show, get people to subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. I think that gives you bowls.
It does. It does. Yeah.
Don't unsubscribe and resubscribe. It doesn't work.
No, don't do. Yeah, I can't. That actually will not affect you unless you're unsubscribed for like a year or something crazy like that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, be subscribed. It helps us. We appreciate that.
And who knows? We may have random episodes throughout the seasons where it's like, hey, who's here? Raise your hand. You get some bowls.
Yeah, we've done it in the past where if you bring somebody to the show, we gift you 35 bowls and stuff like that. We're not doing that today, but in the future, we definitely do that pretty often. So make sure you kind of keep an idea of what all that is, obviously. Bracken, we appreciate you stopping by and saying hello, obviously. We will have you on maybe a little bit later. We'll see what's going on. Maybe we'll ask you a little bit about the Hookah Lounge question once we get to that point. But until
Bring
then...
me in the conversation. I'm here.
But until then, I think we will say goodbye for the moment, and we'll step in and talk with chat. So bye, Bracken.
Bye, Matt. Bye, Adrian.
Bye.
I mean, I say goodbye, but I'm actually just watching.
Yeah, he's going to be right here.
You're
watching while I'm muted.
The Bracken cam is off. Be quiet. Don't spoil it. Shh. You're breaking the fourth wall. What is going on, chat? How is everybody doing? I see Robert Poe. I saw Frank as well there. Art, how are you doing, my good friend? Rose F. Death, Tristan, Brandon. Oh my gosh, there's so many people. J-Rock, how's it going? J-Rock has a name for the man cave. Adrian, what do you think about this? He says the Matt Shack. What do you think about the Matt Shack?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Matt Shack.
The Matt
Seems pretty
Shack.
good.
Okay, I think we could.
Better than what was that? The corn Columbine? I don't even know.
The corn Shiloh. The corn shallow.
The corn silo.
Silo.
Got
Yeah,
it,
there you go. Hey, if you guys have a good name for what we should name the Matt Cave, let me know what you guys think that should be, and I'd be open to all suggestions. I'm all ears to hear. I'm all ears of corn. Get it? Ears, corn.
Post your suggestions on the Facebook page.
Ooh, I like that. Post your
Who said that?
suggestions. I don't know, some voice without a head. Post your suggestions on the Facebook page that our group. That'd be fantastic. PC Insider just said at Pipe Dream, why you going to grow out your when you going to grow out your beard? I think you're growing out your beard now, aren't you?
Yeah, I keep it at about this length. I don't like I don't know. I'm not into it, man.
Frank says, better than the names people name mine. What are some of the names that people have named your man cave, Frank? I want to hear some of these. What is it called? I know recently your computer got some like olive juice in it or something like that, or olive oil. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. It was something crazy. Is it called like the Olive Garden? Is that what it was? Did you get the
Olive Garden?
Is that what the name of your man cave is or something? I don't know. All right, that's some pretty fun stuff that we have going on. So we have something very special that we're going to do right now, but to make that happen, we need to wait for somebody to give us a call in. They know who they are. You please give us a call in, and you'll be able to join the show in just a minute. Adrian is not fully aware of what is about to happen right now. And I hope you enjoy it. It's something that I'm planning, and I think it's going to go over really well. I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be fun. So we need a very quick phone call from a very special person to join us on this episode of the AM Hookah podcast. I think you guys are all going to really enjoy this as well, especially if you guys are into current events on what is going on TV shows and stuff like that. So we're going to wait just a second. I saw him in the chat momentarily ago, so he will definitely be able to... Okay, it looks like he's here, so let me go ahead and roll this intro. And once we get the intro ran into, then we will be able...
do you have a pre-roll?
We have a pre-roll. Are you ready for this? Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Here we go. The AM Hookah Podcast proudly presents the whole pot and pan review of Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 1. Bilu, welcome to the show. What is up, Bilu? How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining.
What's good, man?
Thank you so much.
My main man, Pots and Pans. What's good?
It's going good. Thank you so much for joining us, Bilu. You're here with Jon Snow, also joined by Daenerys Stormblood, Storm Yod, the Queen of the Dragons. Adrian, do you watch Game of Thrones at all?
I sure don't.
You don't watch Game of Thrones? My goodness.
I do not.
Bilu is a fan of Game of Thrones. Isn't that correct, Bilu?
Of course.
Exactly. Of course, you have to be. So on today's episode, and we're going to try to do this, I think, throughout the season of Game of Thrones, because I think it might be fun, as long as Bilu wants to join us, obviously. We're going to be talking about a quick review and wrap-up of the season, of each episode as they happen throughout the season. Bilu, are you smoking at the moment?
I am, for sure.
What are you smoking?
I'm smoking on my matte pear, white matte pear. I am smoking on Provo 3 Prestige Jumbo Flats, Jumbo Qs, whatever they call it. But and I'm smoking Tangier, Sour Grape, and Hipster Mint.
Ooh, how's that?
Are you smoking out of an 80 feet bowl by any chance?
No, I'm smoking out of the Harmony Bowl. I think it's called a Harmony Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference between our setups is the bowl. I'm also using a white matte pear with the Provost with 3 Prestige Jumbo Flats.
My main man.
So let's go ahead and get into this. If you guys don't know who Bilu is, Bilu's been with us on the show before. He calls in all the time. He's been a great supporter, and I wanted to get him on the show in some capacity. I thought this would be a great way to do that. So Bilu, very quickly, just if you could introduce yourself to the audience, that way people know who you are. Give us a quick 5-sentence recap of who Bilu is exactly.
Oh man, I'm just me. I'm a chill dude. I like to smoke hookah, and I'm a martial artist, personal trainer, fitness guy. I'm an engineer as well, and I like you guys. You guys are cool.
Oh, awesome. We like you too.
I play games and I stream as well. So if you want to watch my stream, Hollywood Cole, HOLLIE WOOD KOAL on Twitch.
On Twitch.
What's the name of it?
On Twitch.
whatever, Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah, Twitch. You got it. Okay, so it's very cool. He's also a fan of Game of Thrones, and he's a fan of Smoking Hookah, so that's exactly why we brought him on the show today. So if you could be, Lou, let's go ahead and talk very briefly about this first episode of Game of Thrones. I was excited. I wanted to see more of it. Put down in the chat right now if you guys could, if you guys were excited to be watching.
Oh, so many people haven't seen it, is what chat's saying right now.
Oh, no. Well, pause.
Oh, no.
Pause the show for a brief 5 minutes, and we will get right back into it. I don't think there's any major spoilers. There was a couple small... No, I don't think there's anything major spoilery in this first episode. Would you say there was any major spoilers in this first episode, Bilu?
No, it was a bunch of setup, a bunch of things that the audience already knew that some characters came to know.
Yes. Very, very true.
I think there was one spoiler that I want to talk about briefly, but there was one that I kind of was like, what? How does he know?
Okay, so let's get into this a little bit. So the show opens up in a pretty good way. It basically happens with a recap of everything that happened a little bit. In case you are not keeping up on what's happening, Jon Snow found out that he is actually... Here comes the spoilers in case you want to keep up with this stuff. Jon Snow is actually the nephew of Daenerys, who is the Queen of Dragons, who is trying to take over the kingdom and everything. She gets into it, and they're going over to Winterfell, or the north, where Jon was the king, and now he is no longer the king, and they welcome Daenerys as the queen, and things kind of kick off from there. So give us your quick review, if you could, your recap of what you thought about episode 1 of season 8.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's kind of further in the episode, but it kind of starts off with some boy running around, and we're looking at it, and we're saying, okay, what's going on? Then all of a sudden it gets into Sansa being billed as a freaking genius, which is totally out of her, I guess, her character arc. I feel as though it's out of her character arc.
They are trying to push her as being a much more intelligent character than she was before. Like, she's always had, and like they last season they were able to finally decide that Littlefinger was not good for the family, and they killed him off. And they did, create a plan to get back at him, her and Arya, the two sisters. So they did do that with her, but she's definitely being pegged as being much more of a mastermind character in this season so far.
Right. Because how all of a sudden she was being billed for like I would say 6 seasons, because last season they kind of started to change that, but for 6 seasons she was just gullible.
Yeah.
And now she's this mastermind. But whatever. Okay,
she's grown up. No, she's grown up a little bit.
Yeah, everybody says wisdom comes with age, but sometimes age comes along.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, yeah. They go to Arya and Gendry. Mm-hmm. That is an interesting interaction that they have. So Arya comes down to Gendry, and she wants this special weapon developed by Gendry. He's down there building all these dragonglass weapons to fight off the Night King's army. Mm-hmm. And she wants it looks like a blowgun or something to use some of her skills that she picked up. I think that's what it is, but. She's flirting. That's the side note of that. She's flirting with Gendry, so I don't know what's gonna go on with that either. So
and Gendry, in case you don't know, Gendry is the actual son of Robert Baratheon, the original king from season 1, and Gendry is the actual son. So quote unquote, the person who is supposed to be inheriting the throne, but obviously nobody knows that he's the bastard son of Robert, and nobody's found that out yet. We've only known about that, and we don't even know 100% for sure either. I think it's always been hinted at, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
It's definitely been solidified that he is the bastard son of Robert, but we don't know what we don't. Well, I won't say we don't know. We don't really know. It's not 100% sure who his mom is. Yes, that's not. She's supposed to be some tavern wench.
Yes,
that's all they kind of pretty much said. But yeah, so he's talking to Arya, and the side note, he's like a master blacksmith. Mm-hmm. So that's his skill that he brings to the table. So. They go from that. They go to Cersei, and Cersei is in there. She's talking to people, and she starts talking to Euron, and Euron is one of the Greyjoys, and he has efficiently just taken over Yara and Theon. He's taken over Yara's whole fleet, mm-hmm. and he's bringing that fleet to Cersei in exchange to basically wants to sleep with her. So that's his whole thing. He wants to bed Cersei. So he has that interaction with Cersei, talking about he's bringing her an army, and bringing her a fleet. and she kind of plays him off a little bit, but he's super arrogant, and she likes it. She's into it. She walks off like she's not gonna mess with him, but then she kind of like gives him the eye, like, come on, come with me. and the mountain, everybody kind of like lets him go through, and and then he does the do with Cersei and tells her that he's gonna put a print in her oven. Little does he know that she's already prego.
Do you think she's pregnant though? Do you think she actually is with child right now? I'm kind of the mind that she was trying to use that to play towards her brothers.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if she is or not, but that's what she's been building up. But the thing is, I think she is, because she had no reason. Because if you notice, after he said he was going to put a prince in her stomach, she gives a look not to him, but just to the audience, like, I'm already there. She doesn't have a reason to do that if it's not true already.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't. You got what I'm saying? So she doesn't have a reason to do that. So I think it is. I think it's a real thing. So, and then Cersei, we continue. We get some more looks at Cersei. Is like she goes to Bronn and tells Bronn to go kill Tyrion and Jaime with the same crossbow that Tyrion kills Tywin with. So that's interesting. You know,
yes.
that crossbow is kind of infamous at this point.
Yes.
It's been Joffrey has tortured girls with it, and now then Tyrion kills Tywin with it. Now she wants Bronn to go and kill both Tyrion and Jaime with this crossbow. So what that's telling me is, so she was just playing. She doesn't plan on bringing an army that she promised.
Yes.
So that's another thing. She never plans to bring that army. So y'all can laugh at that army. Y'all can think, depend on it if you want to, but it's not going to happen. That actually is another thing that Tyrion was talking to Sansa about. Tyrion tells Sansa that's going to happen. Sansa comes back. This is the mastermind part. She's like, well, she kind of pokes at Tyrion, saying, I thought you were the most clever man alive.
Yeah.
And she just walks off on him, like saying that, okay, Tyrion, she tricked you. You're an idiot. You know, that's never going to happen. So that was interesting in of itself. So
she was reading a note.
Cool.
She was reading a note right before Tyrion came across on there. So that could be how she may know something is up about it. I'm wondering a little bit about that. Let's go ahead and jump forward a little bit towards the end of the episode so we don't linger on this too long. If you guys haven't watched the episode, obviously watch it. And we're going to try and figure out some better ways to incorporate this review of the shows, because I really want to do. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Let us know in the chat what you guys think about this, and if you guys are interested in seeing more of this kind of stuff as well. So jumping forward just a little bit towards the ending, we finally find out that it's time to tell Jon Snow, which is kind of the biggest part of the show, right? That he is in fact the nephew of what's her name? I can never pronounce it right. Daenerys, right?
Daenerys.
Yeah, exactly.
Daenerys.
That he is a Targaryen.
So he's the son.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam Tarly, who's like this, basically he's a big nerd, right? So he's like he won't. I think he's gonna eventually be Grand Maester, but either way, he goes in. So actually, Bran tells him that it's time to tell Jon what's up.
Yes.
So he goes in, tells Jon, you're the king. He's like, what? I denounce being king of the North, and then basically Sam's like, no, idiot, not king of the North, king of the Seven Kingdoms. Mm-hmm. You are the son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. So that was like a bomb, like boom. Okay, so cool. So he knows this now,
mm-hmm.
and we go from there. Actually, I don't think that was the biggest thing for me. We go from there to previously. I don't know who was talking to Bran, but I think maybe John. John was talking to Bran, and Bran was like sitting outside, like waiting on someone. He was like, "Man, what you doing out here?"
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Man, I'm waiting on an old friend." So then he pulls up. Jaime pulls up, and that's when Bran sees Jaime, like, "Hey, dude, I see you." So now we as the audience, we are to believe that Bran knows that Jaime is the one that pushed him out of the window, and that's when it goes off. Like, it goes off right there when he sees Jaime. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? You think how does he know? And because I know he's a 3-hour Raven now, so maybe that's the thing.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that's weird.
Yeah, he just knows everything. He knows the past, the present, and the future, and that's exactly what he does. He knows what's going to be happening. Obviously, there's still a lot of things to be said and happen with this show. If you guys want to see more of this sort of review thing that we're doing with Game of Thrones, I don't know, maybe me and Bilu, we need to do something together and do a little Game of Thrones reviews on the AM Hookah channel. What do you think about that, Bilu?
Let's do it. I'm with it. Let's do it.
I think so.
Cool.
Bilu, thank you so much for calling in and being a part of this and letting us check your brain a little bit when it comes to this show. We appreciate it a ton. You make sure and enjoy the rest of the show. And if you feel like calling in at the end of it when we're talking about hookah lounges, you make sure to do that too. Okay, man?
Cool. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Later.
All right. The AM Hookah Podcast proudly presents the whole pot and pan review of Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 1. Bilu, welcome to the show. So there it was, the whole pot and pan review of Episode 1 of Season 8 for Game of Thrones. We're back to our regularly scheduled broadcasting. Adrian, what did you think of Game of Thrones?
All right, here's the thing. I basically just listen to that because I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't have a lot of time. And when I do watch things, it's usually like super weird shit, like odd animes and stuff. It sounds like that's just like a high-produced version of like a drama reality TV show. That's basically what it sounds like is happening.
I mean, a little bit, maybe just a little bit. It's a great show.
All I heard was like he wanted to bang her, and this is his son, and then that's his daughter, and his daughter wants to bang her cousin.
I mean, a little bit. You may be bringing it down to the lowest level, but it may be a little bit back there. Thank you guys so much for listening to that. Let us know what you guys want to see in the future. If you guys would like to see more of that stuff happen, I think it'd be really cool. We can definitely figure out a way to better incorporate it into the show and stuff. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't seen an episode, obviously. So, Frank, we want to make sure that it doesn't hurt you in any way. Frank from THL hanging out with us as well, obviously. We want to make sure that we give the information, we have an enjoyable conversation and stuff like that, but we don't want to forcibly give you guys more information than you guys may already want to know about it. So, let's go ahead and get back in the show regular as we usually do and talk about what it is that we are smoking. Brought to you, of course, by the wonderful people over at Prestige Bubbles Coconut Charcoal. We are using them. That is what's keeping our bowls nice and lit. I'm using 3 of the Jumbo Flats as well, as is Adrian. We want to tell you guys to go and try these coals, especially if you're already looking for coals. People like them. You know why? Because they're very good coals. They have good heat, don't ash up too much, and they last a very long time, especially these Jumbo Flats. Oh my God. What did you break? What did you...
I'll be right there.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Okay, hopefully
Nothing's broken, don't worry.
He just grabbed his tongs. There has been coals that have hit the ground. Coals have hit the ground. I'm calling it right now. All right, guys. I'll go ahead and tell you what it is that I'm smoking first because it looks like Adrian might need a little bit of time. I am actually smoking a pretty fantastic mix. I'm doing Tangier's Static Starlight with a little bit of Zomo Strong Mango and then just a touch of Dark Side Supernova. I've really been enjoying the Supernova a lot. I think it's really, really good stuff. And yeah, I've really enjoyed this mix. This is the very end of my Static Starlight, so I need to get some more Static Starlight in because I need this stuff at all times. What are you guys smoking? I don't know what that means, Bracken. I don't know what that means. I apologize.
Got a bunch of ash on the ground.
Oh, no. Did you get any
I
coals?
Vacuum.
Did you get any coals on the ground?
No, we're good
okay.
there.
Okay. Yeah, so I just told him what it was that I was smoking. What about you, Adrian? What are you smoking on?
I'm smoking an interesting mix, actually. I thought I'd try some weird mixes with it's a Hookah Fina black flavor called Naranja, which I believe is an orange flavor. If it's not like a super sweet candied orange soda flavor, like a lot of people are used to from oranges. This is more of a zesty orange peel is what I'm getting out of it. Okay. And I've mixed it with jackfruit, which is like a juicy fruit flavor from Tangiers, and Alfaker mint.
Very nice. That sounds very, very good. I definitely I've had the jackfruit before many, many years ago. I thought it was a really tasty flavor. It reminded me a little bit of juicy fruit. Have you ever had an actual jackfruit before, Adrian?
No, but I can't imagine that would translate very well to a hookah flavor.
It's interesting. Try to get your hands on some actual jackfruit because it is very, very interesting. It legitimately tastes exactly like a juicy fruit gum. It's crazy how much it actually tastes like that. Yeah, exactly.
That's wild.
Not even a slight difference. I mean, it is literally the exact same thing. It's crazy.
It's super strange, actually.
It
Now
really-
I want to go out and buy a jackfruit.
It really is. It's pretty crazy. All right, so you guys are fantastic. What are you guys smoking out there in the chat today? If you guys are smoking something, let us know so we can shout you out as well. Now we usually go into talking about videos. I haven't done a lot of videos on my channel for a long time because it's just something that I'm not really focusing on. I'm focusing a lot more on AM Hookah and trying to get this stuff kind of figured out and done to the best of my ability. So I haven't worked on a ton of videos myself, but Adrian is hard at work producing lots of great content. If you guys have not seen the stuff that he's been doing lately, you guys need to go over to the Pipe Dream Hookah channel on YouTube and check it out. He did a fantastic review of Island. What was that flavor called? Island
City Blend by Azure.
Yes, and it was a fantastic video, especially the intro of it because you played the bass. You flick in
No,
the bass.
that was in the Prince of Grey.
The Prince of Grey. My apologies. Yes,
And the whole reason I did that was just to make fun of you for playing keyboard on technical difficulties.
that's cool. I'm okay with that. I got no problem with that. Do you have any videos down the pipeline, as some would say?
Yeah, a bunch. I'm finishing up the Rami series. And then after that, we're moving on to some other videos that are going to be a lot more like the $15 Amazon Hookah video. For those of you who've seen that, it's probably like my best tracking video to date for some reason. I think it's like 70 views a day.
Mm-hmm.
No clue why.
Very, very cool video.
But I'm going to be doing some more stuff like that. And obviously more reviews.
Yeah.
That's going to keep happening.
Kayla just said that, Matt, you still didn't fix the bowls issue. I know that. We actually had a small issue with our chatbot recently, and we're trying to get through that. We're trying to figure out all the details of what happened with it. And once we get that figured out, we will be fixing your bowls. Apologies for why it's taking so long, but we will get that all figured out and ironed out as well, I promise. Captain, please send me a list of everybody that has bowls that are owed to them and how many are owed to them, and I will get that fixed as soon as possible. Sorry about that taking so long, guys. Really do apologize for that. Okay, so we don't really have any news to talk about at the moment, so we're going to jump over to our topics and get right into it. Our very first topic of the conversation tonight, and if you guys want to add to this, drop a question mark in front of it. Let us know what you guys are thinking about, and we'll add that to the show as well. But it is tax time. Adrian, are you all done with your taxes?
I do my taxes in February. Because people who wait till last minute weird me out. That's like, don't get fucked on your taxes.
Right, exactly.
It's like such a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like the most non-adult thing you can do.
What LaCroix are you drinking, Adrian? We forgot to talk about our non-sponsored
Oh yeah,
sponsor.
our non-sponsored lemon LaCroix. I just wanted a lemon LaCroix. It doesn't really pair super well with this, but it's good.
I loved the we had a post recently in our Facebook group of somebody using a lemon and they just let water hit it and run off of it, and they said that, hey, look, this is a lemon LaCroix. And then somebody said if you want that real LaCroix flavor, you just want to put the lemon right next to the water and just let the water run side by side with the lemon, and that is what it tastes like. What do you think? You got a little worked up at that, I thought.
LaCroix are delicious and people are salty.
Not salty like LaCroix.
People think that they want the sugar from soda, but they don't realize that I think the most addicting thing in soda, or we call it pop here in Michigan. You say soda, people think you're talking about baking soda. It's a really weird Michigan northern thing. But it's the carbonation. That's what you want. And LaCroix does it for me, so
That's cool. I like that. LaCroix is great. I've had a couple that I've enjoyed and some that not so much. So let's talk about taxes. Yes, I got my taxes done nice and early as well. Made sure to get that all taken care of. Make sure you guys have that done and taken care of because you do not want to get screwed over on your taxes. That would suck. But if you are expecting that nice, big, fat tax return, hopefully you are. We have some ideas that we could talk to you guys about when it comes to spending on your tax dollars. So I wanted to ask you for a first question, Adrian. Should you go out and get that big money item that you've been maybe waiting for a long time? Maybe somebody's been waiting to get a Precious Cuts B2. Do you think that that's a good thing to spend that lump sum of your tax money on? What do you think about that?
It depends. Some people don't even get tax returns.
Very true.
So if you're one of those people that make so much money that you pay taxes at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, then go get your Precious Cuts anyway, doctor. But yeah, I mean, that's one way you could go about it. Typically, when I make a purchase decision, it's something that I'm working up to. So I do sometimes wait for my tax return for that purpose. I think it's a pretty good way to utilize just that lump sum of money that is going to come. You don't really have any plans for it. If you're an adult, you should have your savings and bills and everything taken care of. So that's a really good way to just be like, oh, look, time for a new hookah. And I like that. Yeah. I prefer to do something completely different with my hookah purchases when I get a lump sum of money like that, though.
Okay, because this was another question I asked: is it better to stock up? Is that what you like to do? Do you like to create your stock order either of tobacco, of charcoal. What do you like to stock up on first?
Typically, I'll do like 2-3 lounge cases of coal, just like really stock up. And then, like Tangiers is something that holds the packaging's nice and small. So, get like, I don't know, 20, 30, 250s of Tangiers and put them in the locker and close the locker. And then all of a sudden you forget. You're like, oh, I'm almost out of Tangiers. And you're like, no, wait a second. Let me just open up 5 more containers.
Well, especially because there's some good vendor sites. Hookah John actually does a really good job of these sorts of things where they do the, like buy 5 or 10 different flavors of Tangiers, and then there'll be some sort of like extra thing that's thrown in there as well. So, when you're ready to stock up, like those sorts of deals are always the best because you're going to save a little bit of money. You're going to get a lot of tobacco, and then you're going to get some sort of free gift thrown in there as well, which is always really nice.
Yep.
What are the first 3 flavors of Tangiers that you automatically look for? And they can't all 3 be cane mint. They all 3 can't be cane mint. What are the 3 what are the 3 flavors that you recommend people go out and get to stock up on Tangiers?
Cane mint.
Okay. What else?
Cashmere peach.
Okay, here we go. Foreplay on the peach.
Foreplay on the peach.
No, those are too typical. Okay, well, let me give you some other suggestions because those are the most common ones. I think if you're going to get yourself some wonderful Tangiers, the 3 flavors you should instantly stock up on are Static Starlight.
Static Starlight.
Yes, Static Starlight is the greatest Tangiers flavor of all time. Here's another one. This one's a little bit more out of left field that I think you would really enjoy. This is White Grape. If you've never tried the White Grape from Tangiers, highly recommend it. Adrian, listen to this, okay? It tastes exactly like Welch's grape juice. Exactly like it. It's phenomenal. You need
That's
to
what I'm in the market for. I'm not in the market for like bad grape.
No. No more ketchup for you, right? This one doesn't even have, here's the thing, is it's so different than your regular grape that you normally go out and buy because it tastes like, instead of being like a Concord grape, which is what a lot of other grapes are styled after, it's white grape. It's legitimately that white grape juice that you get from Welch's, and that's really, really good. Captain
I would
Beer,
just want my like grape flavor to taste like a white Zinfandel. Is this how you pronounce the name of wine?
Yeah.
That's what I want when I'm thinking like white grape.
That's what you get. That is actually something that you will get from Welch's white grape, or Tangiers white grape, I mean. And then the third one that I'd recommend you go out and get because it holds such a special place in my heart, I would recommend getting guava or actually guava or guava. I don't know how they pronounce it. It's a weird thing nowadays, the way that they do it, obviously. But it is guava, and it's creamy, and it's delicious, and it's something that I haven't had in a long time. When it comes to passion fruit, there is only one passion fruit on the market, Adrian, that everybody needs to experience and try. And that, of course, is Alpha Kama passion fruit. That is the one that you need to get. If you've not tried Alpha Kama passion fruit, using your tax money to get that would be a very, very good idea. Okay, so now some other things that I want to talk to you about when it comes to spending your tax money on hookah products. I wanted to say, what are some items that you might not think of, but are very good to get? Some maybe accessories or things that they don't jump out at you immediately, but things that are definitely good to have in your arsenal of hookah products.
That's a good question. I used to love buying different hoses and stuff because especially I have a lot of friends that come over and smoke. It's good to have maybe 10 hoses. I don't do disposable hoses very often. Right now, my daily driver is a hookah that does not accept a different hose. This Matt Pear takes the magnetic hose, period. I'm sure you could take out the magnet port and then set it up so you could put a grommet in there, but why do that? But yeah, hoses are probably a really good one. I like to keep some of the hoses I like to keep around. I remember when everyone used D hoses. Yeah,
that's been a long time ago. I used to love the D hose. I used to think that they were so great, but I don't know what has changed about why do people not care so much about the D hose like they used to?
Because the silicone they use in the D hose is trash.
Okay. I thought it was because they're not the low profile style anymore, right? I think this low profile style has become the norm of hookah smoking. And I think that's the biggest reason why.
That's definitely true. For me, that silicone that comes with the D hose, it catches on stuff. It catches hair or particles, and it discolors really quickly for me because I smoke a fair amount of hookah. What I've done with my D hose is I've just replaced it with soft touch silicone, and I still use it to this day. And it's one of the first hoses I ever bought.
Very true. Very true.
The handle's great. It's a solid fucking hose.
Yeah.
There's not much to say about it. D hose, I really like. If you want to be showy, get yourself a Thunder Pro.
Yeah. Those are ginormous. It's crazy how big those Thunder Pros really are. I think it's crazy, honestly. You don't expect it to be as big as it really is, but it really is ginormous. Something else that I thought would be a good thing to get that you may not immediately think of is things like a coal carrier. Those things are, everybody has something they use to carry coals. Sometimes it's an official one. Sometimes it's just like a pan that they use. Exactly. Something simple, something nice, but it's good. Yeah, literally Bracken is using a frying pan. That is literally what he is using right now, is a frying pan. But, getting a really nice coal carrier, because they're not a necessity, but there's something that's nice to spend that extra little bit of money on sometimes, is something really cool to use it on. Tongs is another thing. There's some really cool tongs that are out on the market. The work bun tongs, those are fantastic. The Urso tongs, if you're looking to do something really kind of crazy looking, those things are all really cool. And then there's stuff like this, right? Like the little trinkets, if you will. A fork, the Urso fork or the Alpha Kama fork that has a hole puncher built into it on the backside of the fork. How cool is that? You can get these at 5starhookah.com.
Speaking of that, it's a little story.
Yes.
My buddy, his name's Nate. He just got into hookah. I just got him really into hookah. Like I gave him a Mia, a really kind of run-of-the-mill $40 Mia. I have like 4 of them in stock that are unopened. Oh, he's like, I really like this. I'm gonna buy a Matt Pear. I'm like, oh wow. He's like, yeah, man, like 2 weeks. I'm like, well, here, take this and smoke while you're waiting to get the Matt Pear. I took him to the shop. He bought himself an Alien flashback bowl.
Ooh.
And a bunch of some Alfaker double apple. I gave him an entire kilo of stone mint, and the dude's a fiend. But he actually he offered to buy a couple of my Urso forks off me. I just gave him one. But it's amazing. Like, he's a new smoker, and he immediately caught on like, oh, this thing's awesome.
So
he doesn't like to get his hands dirty.
do you think that it is a good idea to spend extra amounts of money like that on new things that you haven't tried before? Like, when is the best time to get something that you haven't tried, that you're willing to, willing to roll the dice and try something that you may or may not like? Is the time to do that when you see that you have enough money and you can just kind of blow a little bit on something you've never tried before?
Yeah. If you definitely, if you budget out your hookah expenses, like most responsible adults do, and you have some flexible income, like in tax time, like we are in right now, it's absolutely fine. Like, if you're not an oyster fork user, I think you're not doing it right. I think you can pack most brands without touching the tobacco ever. I tend to, because I don't mind touching tobacco. But like Alfaker and stuff, you ever packed Alfaker with your bare hands? It looks like you just got done murdering a village of small children. So you definitely want to have an oyster fork around for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like I adopted it really early, but like the buddy of mine that just took it up, he went from not smoking hookah except for when he came over to like having his own setup and like straight up always using a fork. And the dude it was weird. He's like a really normal dude, real chill. It took me a couple months to get my Tangiers pack down. I showed this guy how to do it once. His Tangiers pack is as good as mine now.
Ooh, well, it's because you're a great teacher.
Maybe.
That's why. You're just that good of a teacher. That explains the entire thing. Also, some chopsticks. That is a great idea. Actually, Paul just said, got some chopsticks, you animal. And you know what? If you're looking to spend a little bit of money, there is some nice chopsticks that are out there on the market. I have like a really nice set of ebony chopsticks that I use for mixing. I have my friend made me, her name's Tori, she made me a bowl. She took a ceramics class, and she made me a ceramic bowl. And the way it's glazed, it looks a lot like a hookah product. And I use that in conjunction with chopsticks to do like Alpha Kama mixes and shit. And I would suggest getting a nice pair of chopsticks because you like to accessorize. Don't tell me you don't. You smoke hookah. Oh, yeah. We are terrible about that stuff. I agree completely. So those are some good ideas on what you could spend your money on for taxes. What are some stuff that you guys have recently purchased that you think was a good buy, something that you really enjoy grabbing? Kayla just said, going to buy a Matt Pear Mini with my tax return. I'm just worried about the diffuser missing. Going to get a rubber one. Do you have any worry about the diffuser not being on the Matt Pear Mini, Adrian?
Yeah, the diffuser on the Matt Pear is it's like titular to the way that it smokes. It is one of the most important factors in like the Matt Pear's signature draw. I don't like. I've tried smoking my Matt Pear without the diffuser attached, and it's a very different experience altogether. I don't enjoy it nearly as much.
This Carbon One does not have a diffuser on it at all. And I put on the one that I got from Bracken. It's a rubber one that he got from Amazon, actually. And I put it right on it every time I use it because if I don't, this thing sounds like a monster. And I don't like that for the podcast, obviously. And I really do like how a diffuser will really quiet down your session a lot. It's very nice in that respect, obviously. Let's see. Maggie just said I got an Airbnb for Vegas with my taxes. That's another good way to spend your tax money. Make sure you're ready for Vegas because it's going to be a crazy time.
Oh, Matt, are you ready for the Airbnb? Woo! We are going to be absolutely. We were talking about getting like a smaller spot, so we could do some podcast stuff. But that went down the drain like that. That just went away as soon as like an offer was extended. So
Yeah.
Look for the party spots. There's going to be a lot of them in Vegas.
Oh, it's going to be a fantastic time. Cannot wait for it at all. And also Bracken asked if there was a discount code on the Hookah John site, and there is. If you would like to support the AM Hookah podcast, next time you order on hookahjohn.com, head on over there and use discount code AM Hookah, all one word. You get 10% off any order over $45. So if you want to support the show and you're already buying from Hookah John for some reason, please use that discount code. Really does. We really appreciate it a ton. Very, very cool stuff. Let's see. Matthew just said, Hookah John diffuser is like a damn silencer, completely quiet. That is exactly what a diffuser is supposed to do. Adrian is going to take off for a minute, so I'm going to just hang out here and chat with you guys and see what you guys are all up to. Brandon just said, about to mix up some trifecta pineapple guava with some AF kiwi. Very cool. Hope that AF kiwi is good for you. I got AF kiwi one time, and I was not a fan, but mixing it would be a very good idea, obviously. Let's see. Captain Whipbeard says that I'm smoking trifecta lime in Tangier's F-line passion fruit. Passion fruit does have a special place in my heart, though I have not tried the F-line from Tangier's passion fruit. F-line is crazy. F-line has caffeine in it, and I know somebody maybe even in this area that has tried the F-line before, and it messed them up royally because they were not expecting that caffeine high that went along with it. So do be careful if you're interested in getting into the F-line, just to pre-warn you guys.
Do they still make that?
They do. They do make it in specific flavors and stuff. So it's
they've
kind of
got Burkook, Burley, Nor, and the F-line.
Yep.
Is that everything they make right now?
That is everything that they make. They used to make the Lucid. Lucid is no longer being made. It got replaced by Burkook, basically. Even though it's made completely.
Is weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't have the pear. How do you pronounce the first word in the pear? It's like Apatania pear or something.
Good enough.
It's a really good flavor, but like it smokes way different from the Norlina Tangiers, I think. Maybe it could just be the flavor, though.
J-Rock in the chat right now is smoking some ROR, some raw tobacco. He's mixing up trifecta peppermint shake with ROR tobacco. Raspberry lemonade is what J-Rock is doing right now. That sounds good. Raspberry lemonade should be a very, very good flavor, no matter who makes it.
I've been impressed by ROR. I actually went over some ROR or raw tobacco, in the technical difficulties.
Yeah,
last Friday.
Last episode of Technical Difficulties. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Adrian is the one that hosted it. He mixed up Tangiers with something that was not Tangiers, which was ROR or RAR tobacco. Very fun episode of that show. Please go and check that out. Always appreciate it when you guys support the other shows that we have going on. We have 3 shows, actually. We have the main podcast show that you're watching right now. We also have the Gamecast on Wednesdays. And then we also have the Wonderful Technical Difficulties, where we walk through the technical difficulties of smoking hookah. Pretty good stuff.
Check them out.
Yes.
Yeah, just check out those shows.
Yes, I'll stop shrilling for right now. Bracken says that I'm smoking the Hobbit from Hooked on Hookah. What is the Hobbit? What is that flavor profile? Is it a custom mix that you made, or is it a custom mix that they made? Please let us know what that is. It's very, very cool stuff. All right, I think we've probably hit about as much as we're able to hit for the actual topic of tax time. So
yeah, except for spend as much money as you can reasonably spend on mod grommets.
Yes,
because those are kind of hard to come by. I've realized, like good ones. You guys know what a good mod grommet is. I think everyone knows
a good grommet, right? Like once you have your grommets that you like to use and you lose one, it is the worst thing that could possibly happen. Brackett knows this because he saw me lose one when we were in Vegas last year. I lost one of my grommets, and it has hurt me ever since then, man.
The way we smoke now, you can't use an Egyptian grommet on most of these bowls. They don't work anymore. With the way the ports have gotten smaller, the Egyptian grommets they have too much play to them. They've got that like flap on the bottom that typically would catch the Egyptian bowl nicely, but with the new profile of the bowls we have now, where they kind of branch out a little bit towards the bottom, you really want that mod grommet, which is weird because mod grommets came from anyone who knows the term. They're the grommets that are included with mod bowls, and they're so thick because they fill up mod bowls, which are hollow on the inside. It's funny. That's the one good thing that came from that culture of like Chinese hookahs and mod bowls and stuff is the grommet that comes included with those specific types of hookahs actually is one of the best grommets you can buy, oddly enough.
Yeah.
So all these crappy hookahs back here that I got for a meme or as a paperweight or something, each of those came with a mod grommet, and I have all those mod grommets still.
I like how we can see your cheap hookahs right behind you, by the way. I like that we can just see them just right behind you. I think that's fantastic. All right, so Bracken chimed in. He said that it's a mixture of guava, mint, peach, and watermelon. Those are
Whoa.
some very
That's
fresh.
that's a lot of flavors.
Those are some fresh flavors right there. It sounds like it would taste very good. Is that a custom mix that Hooked on Hookah has, or is that a mix you did? Oh, it's a custom mix from Hooked on Hookah. So when you go to their website, you can just order the Hobbit, and that's what it'll be. Very cool, very cool. All right, cool. All right, let's jump into our next topic, which is, of course, about hookah lounges. So recently, whenever I travel, whenever I go on work, I need to go traveling for work and stuff like that, I usually go to some sort of hookah lounge that's somewhere nearby because I want to smoke hookah, obviously, even though I'm traveling. I don't usually pack a travel hookah with me, though I wished I would have on my last trip, just didn't. But I always go to a couple different ones. If I go to Boise, there's one that I go to. If I go to Salt Lake, then there's one that I go to up there as well. And there's always something about it that is fun, right? Like, the interesting part about it is when I go to a hookah lounge, there's only 2 flavors that I'm interested in smoking at a lounge. Adrian, do you know what those flavors are?
Why don't you tell me? Is one of them watermelon?
One of them is watermelon. Alfacher watermelon is the first one that I find out if they have, and if for some reason they don't have Alfacher, which is not usually the case, the other flavor that I have to smoke at a hookah lounge is, of course, none other than the official flavor of the AM Hookah podcast, Blue Mist. If I'm going to a hookah lounge, I want to smoke Blue Mist. That is what I am aiming to do at the hookah lounge that I'm going to. So I know that's not exciting. I know that's maybe the craziest thing that you may hear, but that is definitely the flavor that I like.
Is cringing right now.
It's what I like to smoke. Adrian, how about you? When you go to a hookah lounge, is there a certain flavor that you aim to smoke when you go there, or do you see what's on the menu?
All of my local lounges serve mod bowls or orange heads as standard with the hookah. They all have Egyptian bowls, but they won't use them because, unfortunately, because of how traditional hookah is around here, and they haven't really moved forward, they don't understand that, like, they think an orange is the best thing you can smoke out of. So they sell it at a premium. So, like, when I go in and ask for, hey, can I get Alfacher double apple? And if you have Nakla, mix it 50-50, and can you put it in a red clay Egyptian bowl? The guy gives me a knowing look, like, oh, you smoke hookah. Because normally guys that work at lounges know a little bit more than the patrons, and they usually hook me up. Like, I can get a good session at a local lounge where I think that most people are probably experiencing somewhat subpar sessions. You have to know what to ask for here.
And that
but yeah, it's usually double apple.
That is one of the questions that I wanted to kind of ask about this hookah lounge topic is, do you think lounges are more geared overall towards the casual market and not so much towards the enthusiast market? And is that a problem?
I don't know that it... Okay, this is a big topic. How much time do we have? That's my question.
We got a little time. We got a little bit of time.
Okay, so lounges are definitely geared towards newer smokers, or very casual smokers at the very least. People who maybe like... There's a lot of people I know who say they're like hookah fiends, and they love hookah, and they go to a lounge.
Do they love double apple?
Not so much.
Oh, then they're not hookah fiend.
Right. They'll go into a lounge once a week, and that's their hookah, and they think they're smoking a lot of hookah, and then I have to break it to them like, oh, you think you smoke a lot of hookah? I breathe more hookah smoke than I do oxygen. It's not... I'm causing problems with my internal system. Hookah is... You probably shouldn't smoke as much as I do, but I love it. That said, hookah lounges, I feel like if you don't own a hookah, you can go into a hookah lounge and have a very good experience because it's going to be a completely new experience for a lot of people. And the people who it isn't a new experience for typically go into a lounge and get a repeat experience of something they already mentally associate as something, a good experience, right? So it causes kind of a repeat deal. What was the word I'm looking for? There's a word. I can't find it.
Okay.
But so is that an issue? Is the big question.
Yeah.
And I think if you asked me 5 years ago, I'd say, no, not so much. Get people into hookah. But now, there's more people that know about hookah gem bowls. There's more people who know about like good setups. Like I know people who like were into hookah and now they have like at least an American-made Starbuzz pipe, which is a fine entry-level good hookah. I think it is a problem because to get people into the hobby that is hookah, to keep people into the lifestyle, I think it might be time to move it forward a little bit, especially here in the States. So in Michigan, we don't have any like lounges that you can go to if you're like an experienced smoker and you want like, I can't go get a bowl of Tangiers. I mean, I can bring my own Tangiers, but then I have to pack my own bowl too. And then it's like, okay, why did I come to this lounge? So I think it is a bad thing. Actually.
So Hookah University in the chat right now just said it is up to the enthusiasts to educate the lounges. So here's another question. Do you think that the majority of lounge owners are not well educated on the proper setup and use of hookah?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think that is? Are they just stuck in their old ways?
they're either stuck in their old ways. Like here in Dearborn, I've got an interesting perspective because people can just open up hookah lounges. It's very easy. It's a simple thing to do, and you're going to get business because it's traditional, and there's a huge Middle Eastern culture here. So you're going to get business. That's just kind of the way that it works. So there's a lot of people who own lounges that have no business owning lounges.
Okay.
Hookah is so popular here that we have, I'm sure every state has like a Renaissance festival. We have one here in Michigan, and they actually have a hookah lounge, like a pop-up tent hookah lounge that comes there. And this guy that runs it is so bad at packing bowls that it's actually like disgusting. It's not good. Like I went there and I was like, "You have natural coals?" He's like, "No." I'm like, okay. Do you have red clay Egyptian bowls? He's like, "No." I'm like, "What can you do for me?" He's like, "I give you Al-Fakir lemon mint in this bowl," and he shows me a mod bowl, and I'm like, "Okay, sir, I really want to smoke hookah at the Renaissance Festival, so I'll try it." It was bad. It was like exactly as bad as you think it's going to be.
Yeah. I recently, one of the lounges that I went to only had quick light coals, and I did in fact enjoy Blue Mist with quick light coals, and it was not enjoyable, but it was hookah.
You remember why you stopped using them.
Yes, exactly.
And sometimes like it's not enough for me anymore. Like I'm at the point where if a lounge doesn't have quick light coals, I'm like, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to leave, and I'm going to find a place that does if I really want to go to a lounge that bad.
Is it rude to bring your own stuff? Like, is it rude to bring your own coconut charcoal and say, could you please, like, here's the problem is if they're using quick lights, the chances are they might not have a proper way to cook the coconut charcoal though, correct?
Yeah, and that's the situation where instead of bringing your own stuff, I think you need to go to the lounge and do your homework. And if it's not a place you can smoke, you just probably shouldn't smoke there.
What if I really want to smoke? What if I really want to smoke?
Like, if you really want to smoke and you're willing to tough out some quick lights, then you might have a problem.
What about you guys? What makes those lounge experiences not good for you, good for you? What is all the different quirks and quarks about going to hookah lounges and stuff like that you do or don't like about going to hookah lounges? It is amazing how so many still use quick light coals. I think that they're just easy to get a hold of, which is sad because it is not that much of an expense to get a large amount of coconut charcoal for your lounge, obviously. I do agree with what Hookah University is saying that you need to help educate, right? Yep. The lounges and stuff like that and give them the information that they need. I'm in the perspective that I opened up a hookah lounge a few years back and ran it for about 2 years, and I was definitely more of an enthusiast lounge. I had, Tangiers and all that kind of stuff. My biggest problem with my lounge that I realized after the fact is that my menu was far too big. Like I had many things that everyone would look down at the menu. They'd be like, okay, here's everything I have to choose from, and then they would look right back up to me and they'd be like, well, what should I smoke? And of course I would direct them towards the same 5 or 6 things that I enjoyed smoking that I knew that they might enjoy. So like, why did I have so many? Like, at what point does a menu become too vast with information?
It happens pretty quick. I think that if you're a lounge, things you shouldn't do as a lounge owner. Hey, lounge owners, pay attention. I know that some of you maybe should work on your lounge. I've been there. If you have 2 brands that have the same flavor, like for instance, when I go into, there's a lounge around here. I guess I won't name drop it because I'm about to speak negatively about it. Maybe I should. I don't know what I should do in that situation.
I'm sure they're watching.
I'm not going to drop the name. Okay, I'm sure they're watching. Okay, everyone watches.
Right.
I go in and they have Al-Fakir lemon mint, and then they have Starbuzz Mighty Freeze, and that is taking up too much space on the menu. You have a lemon mint by Starbuzz and you have a lemon mint by Al-Fakir. And what you need to do is figure out which one either you like best or which one your
best.
Patrons like best.
Yeah.
And sell that one. And it might be best to also label what the flavor is. For instance, Starbuzz likes to name their flavors things that you don't eat. They don't have flavors.
Yes.
Mighty Freeze is not I don't know what that is.
No, I don't know what that is until I smoke it.
It's a lemon mint for those of you not in the know. Unfortunately, most people don't have that knowledge. So when they go and see Mighty Freeze on the menu, they're going to have to ask the question, what is this? So menus are really, now that we're on the topic, menus are super important in the hookah lounge atmosphere because menus get oversaturated really quickly too, like you were saying. Like I think it's an actual problem because then you give people that little thing that we like to call decision fatigue.
Yes.
And that makes for a more negative experience. I think honestly, if you're running a lounge and it's like say you want to run a high-end lounge, I think 16 flavors should be your max.
I agree completely. You want to have the best of the best. You want to offer your patrons what it is they're going to come in and they're going to enjoy. And then I think it's good to have like a rotating flavor list, right? Like we have these 10 that are always on standby. And then we have these other 6 flavors that rotate throughout. Like as soon as they're out, we order something different. And maybe if it's good enough, we move it on to the main selection. We bump off something that isn't selling so well. You know, keep those things fresh. Keep the interest high, obviously. Matthew, he just put a comment into the chat right now. He says, I think too many choices just for occasional smokers is pressuring. They don't have the knowledge to know quality over experience. They haven't had the time to know what the tastes there are. I agree with that completely. You want to give them the best tasting stuff at the beginning. Eventually, they'll want to branch out, right? If you are somebody who enjoys hookah and you get into it, you yourself once... Oh, we just had somebody follow us. Thank you so much. Somebody just started following us. I think that was over on our... I think that was somebody either here on YouTube. Was that on YouTube or was that on Twitch? I need to open up the Twitch chat real quick to find out if somebody new just started to follow us over there. If somebody's watching us on Twitch and I haven't said anything to you, I apologize so very much right now. I'm terrible about doing that, honestly.
We are very YouTube-centric.
We are. Which is not always a good thing, but it is where we kind of spend the majority of our time. I'm going to jump over to Twitch real quick, and then I have a cool story to share with you about the Salters, actually. Maggie and Ken Salter shared a very cool story with me. Let me see. I'm going to pop this up somewhere. Geez, where can I see it that it's not going to... oops, don't want to do that there. Where should I put this? I don't know where to put it. Let me see. Get it down there. Okay, I can see chat down there now. Okay. So if anybody hits us up on our YouTube has 300 and I believe it's 11 followers, even though Bridget just said there's 310. Which, if somebody just subbed to us, then we might have 312 at this point. All right. So here's a cool story that I have to share with you guys from the Salters, Maggie and Ken. They have a place that they go to, and they recently got Ugly there, and they're really excited about having Ugly. So what Ken did is he started talking to them about other brands that they should also be carrying, and one of the brands they mentioned was Azor. So now this place, after a nice long conversation, a very helpful conversation with this group of this lounge owner, he said, hey, you should carry this as well, and they said, okay, we'll try it. So, you know, have those conversations with different people because you never know what might come from it, honestly.
Absolutely. That's super important. If you're an enthusiast and you feel like one of your local lounges is lacking, responsibility seems like a heavy word, but you should go in and say something because it's not going to just help you in your smoking experience, but it's going to make your area probably a little bit happier.
Yeah, especially
and
because
the lounge, people like the flavors more, people show up more. It's exponential.
Yes, especially because you know, I'm somebody who is willing to support a local place that has stuff that I want to purchase and buy, and not have to worry about ordering online all the time, right? Like I enjoy being able to walk into a store, buy the thing that I'm interested in buying, and then be able to be done with it. Like that's exciting to me personally. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. So here comes the bigger question. Then we'll take a couple phone calls, I think, actually. The bigger questions about this whole thing is, what do you think makes a good lounge? What is a good lounge to you, Adrian?
There's 2 kinds of lounges,
okay,
and I think there's room for both of them to exist. I see in the show notes that one of your questions is, why is the music so damn loud?
Yeah.
Quote, there is a place for lounges like that. We've got this place called, I think, Taiga in Detroit. I think it's like near downtown. And the music's really loud and they have a lot of live entertainment. And it's set up like you're watching a show most of the time. And I think that people really like that. But I think a lot of the people in college that maybe go to study or the people that want to just go with their friends, there also needs to be the chill, more atmospheric hookah lounge. If you're going to play music, make it quiet, low lighting, stuff like that is really enjoyable too. But for me, if I could give you my perfect lounge, this is hard. Modern. I like modern interior. As nice as we got a lot of the Egyptian/Arabic styled Middle Eastern hookah lounges out here, and they're cool. But I like a modern hookah lounge personally. I like a modern kind of minimalist lounge, low lighting, quiet music, good service. Service is such a problem in lounges a lot of the time. I hate like waiting for coals. Sometimes you have to get up and go ask like, hey, can I have more coals, please? You know,
pretty please.
And then flavor selection, like we were talking about. Like I think people should stock, like if you don't need to stock a ton of Tangiers, but like if you're gonna cater to enthusiasts, maybe keep K-Mint around and maybe another flavor or two, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's important to me. I don't like going into every place and they always have like, here's all of our Alfaka flavors. Here's the 6 premium Starbucks flavors that they sell for more expensive prices, which I kind of get, sort of. And then they always have like Naka Double Apple, which is for the old dudes who want to smoke like with no foil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, Zagul. I'm not a big fan of that type of thing. So I want good flavor selection. And then, you know, I'll pay a higher price point for that. Honestly, like I will pay $20 for a bowl if I got that experience every time.
Yeah, if you have a good experience that you don't mind supporting, there's nothing wrong with spending a little bit of money. I think everyone, for the most part, feels that way. So this whole topic got created because of somebody named Raphael. He's inside of our Facebook group, and he actually posted a question. He says, when you guys go to a hookah lounge, what is your ideal atmosphere? What makes the lounge that you are visiting special to you? What do you want to expect from the perfect lounge? Granted, nothing is perfect, but what would you guys like to see or even taste? I'm trying to gather some information because I'm looking into opening a lounge in the future. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. I answered it. Tony answered it. Tommy, the hookologist, answered it. Eddie answered it. Moyes answered it. Go and check out the post on the Facebook group, obviously, to find out some more information. A lot of people said that they don't mind the music as long as it's not too loud. They want to be able to have a conversation with the person that is directly across from them, which I think is very important, obviously, as well. Music is not a bad thing. Just don't overdo the music, I think, is a big problem sometimes to many people, obviously. All right, so we're going to take some calls here in just a minute. I'd like to say that my perfect lounge is kind of like a coffee shop. Like, I would love to be able to go into a hookah lounge, order a coffee, order a hookah, and be able to sit down, relax, and do, like, some work on a laptop or do some writing or whatever it is that I might need to do, right? Like, I want to have that atmosphere that feels inviting, and it also feels very, normal to just kind of relax and hang out and not worry about too many things.
Speaking of coffee shops, we have a couple of these lounges with on-house baristas.
Yeah,
are really cool. Like if you can set that up, that's very, very cool. It's a good way to attract a lot of extra customers you wouldn't get otherwise. But yeah, the coffee shop vibe is really cool. I like to go to coffee shops for that.
Mm-hmm,
but
exactly. My grandfather is calling me right now, and I'm going to tell my wife to call him real quick, if you don't mind, just because I need to. Call Grandpa. He just called me. Bridget, if you're watching, which I think you might be, just to let you know, he called me. So give him a call real quick if you don't mind. All right, so Hookah Fiend said we pay $40 for a small Mia with quick lights in New York. That's painful. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, it is New York.
Yeah,
it's expensive to do stuff there.
I just posted the phone number on the screen right now. So if you guys want to give us a call, the phone number is 319-527-3235. We're going to ask you a question. The question is, what do you like and what do you dislike about hookah lounges? Give us your information, your thoughts on that stuff, obviously. We already have a caller on the line, area code 408. Area code 408. Who is this right now?
Your friendly neighborhood hookahologist. What's up, guys?
Oh, I'm doing good, Tommy. How are you doing?
Well, I just woke up from a nap, so fantastic.
Cool. I actually tagged you in that post on our group page because I thought you might have some good information. Now, you used to work at a hookah lounge, is that correct?
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yikes. How was that experience? Hold on, I want to hear about
that
this.
Because my hookah lounge was utterly terrible. The owner never wanted to update the hookah shisha. I constantly had to clean every Mia pipe that was falling apart, and he refused to buy new ones. And he didn't want to use Egyptian bowls. He wanted to use clay bowls. So I burnt my hands 95% of my day. I have PTSD just thinking about it.
So what is a good lounge to you, Tommy? What is something that you like about hookah lounges, and what's something you don't like about hookah lounges? I'm assuming what you don't like is when they use poor quality items, correct?
That is the big one, yes. That is the biggest pet peeve of mine, because I was a hookah smoker. I'm like, all right, guys, boss, you can't just keep doing this. It's not okay. I think our customers are starting to realize we are being cheap, and they could possibly get sick, and from this, he's like, no, it's fine. So eventually I had to leave. I'm like, no, I can't do this anymore.
Okay.
And now that lounge is shut down.
You got out right at the right time, I guess.
I walk by it every time I go to the movie theaters in Morgan Hill, and I just laugh. I'm like, I told you, you dumb motherfucker. Like, just...
Oh my God, Tommy. Jeez, okay. Well, what is something you like about hookah lounges?
Well, for me personally, because my lounge more of a place where people can hang out and do homework and actually have a social atmosphere. That's like the biggest thing for me when I go to a hookah lounge. Like there's one I go in San Jose, and it's 30 minutes away from me, that I go to probably 6 to 7 days out the week, and they ask me, why do you come all the way from Gilroy when you have your own setups at home to come up here? I'm like, well, the staff, the atmosphere, and being able to have conversations with new people who come all the time. They ask me, why do you bring your own hose? It's because I'm extra like that. That's why.
Yep, I'm with you. I always get the question, why did you bring your own bowl? It's like, because I'm extra.
Yeah, well, no, the staff knows me so well there. They don't even care what I do. They're like, Tommy, what do you want? I'm like, I tell them, I don't even care what you make. Like, I'm just going to sit over there, just bring something great, and if I can have a Moroccan mint tea, that would be fantastic, too. They're like, okay, sit down, you know.
All right, very cool, very cool. Well, we appreciate
so they'll
you.
just bring me the hookah and the tongs. No, they won't even bring me tongs, because I bring those, too.
that might be a little extra. That might be a little much, I'll be honest. The tongs you may not need to bring on your own.
I bring my own tongs.
Well, they give me shitty tongs, so I need the better ones.
Here's the thing. A lot of lounges out here won't give you tongs because they're afraid of people screwing up the floor and stuff. So I just bring my own, and I'm like, you will drop these coals before I will.
Yeah.
I probably handle hookah more often.
That's a true fact.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tommy, for calling. We appreciate it. As always, we'll be talking to you much later. You're going to be doing a live tonight as well?
Yeah, I am. That's why I'm not smoking the last of my C-shift.
Oh, okay. You're going to be doing a review?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a review on Ugly's Secret Agent, which I've been forgetting to do for the past, 3 weeks. Because last week we did our movie review on Shazam, which was fantastic. Matt was there.
I did show up. Matt
got a big special welcome. He was the only person there, but it's all right, Adrian. You get to show up tonight, right?
I will be there tonight.
Well, thank you so much, Tommy. We'll talk to you later, okay, man?
All right, talk to you guys soon.
Bye. All right, so before we go on to the next caller, we're going to take a question from the chat. Actually, this is from our good friend Zach from Strictly Shisha. He says, I have a question.
Wait.
Yeah.
Go sub to Zach from Strictly Shisha.
Oh,
He's been nice enough to be our first guest on both Season 2 and Season 3 of the AM Hookah podcast. Zach, I don't know if you've noticed this motif, but you're going to be getting a question from us in about a month about Season 4's first episode as well. So go sub to Zach. He does great content. Anyway, Matt, sorry to interrupt.
Yes, absolutely fantastic stuff. Go over to Zach's channel, Strictly Shisha. Sub to him. You will not regret it. But this is a question from Zach from Strictly Shisha. He says, I have a question. Why do hookah tenders in lounges blow in the bottom of the Egyptian bowls when they switch coals? Makes little logical sense. I can answer this if you don't know, Adrian. Do you know why?
I don't know. Okay. I hate it every time I see it, but I genuinely have no clue.
There's a reason why they do this. They believe that that because the tobacco is being lit from the top, that there's uncooked tobacco on the bottom of it, and they want to blow out the bottom of it to get all of the kind of ashed up stuff that's on the top layer of it, get it out of the way, and move up some of that uncooked tobacco on the bottom of it. So they blow up into it. They blow that in there so they can get all the bad stuff in their opinion. It's actually the logical reason why these Mia hookahs exist, why you're able to blow with this weird purge that they have. They want to blow the air directly through the top of it to push the bad stuff out of the way and allow you to smoke more of the good stuff. That's a big reason why this exists, and it's an old school mentality of smoking hookah that is just...
That doesn't even sound like bro science. That sounds just false.
That is why they do it. Ask them why they do it the next time you go and you see them do it, and that is why they will tell you that. They're trying to give you a more fresh bowl, and they believe that blowing in the bottom of it will knock away some of that bad stuff that's in the bowl and give you more of that fresh bowl. That is why they do it.
Knocking it away to.
That's why.
Well, where does it go?
It moves. It moves out of the way.
Unless they have 4-dimensional hookah bowls where they can fold it into some... No, it doesn't work.
We have another call. We're going to take another call right now. This is area code 601. Area code 601. Who is this?
What's up, Matt?
Hey, how you doing? Who is this?
I'm doing good. Maggie's going to come into the room just as soon as you answer that. Or Alice is with the volume way up on her phone.
How's it going, Ken? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, man. Been better, been worse.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm glad you're doing good. Hi, Maggie. How's it going? Good to hear from you. We got a question for you, Ken, if you don't mind answering it for us. Yeah, what do you like and what do you dislike about hookah lounges?
So the best hookah lounges I've been to are the lounge type ones. And that's crazy to sound the best lounge. Say is the best lounge I've been to is the lounge. But like I've been into some with like low music playing. Sometimes like they have the games on, but like no one's jumping up and down, screaming at the top of their lungs. Everyone's just chill. Someone, some college kids off in the corner doing their assignment at work, and I'm just sitting there chilling, speaking with Maggie, smoking hookah, doing what I want to do.
Okay, that's very good. Well, what is so what is the biggest critique that you have against a bad hookah lounge?
Okay, so when I was in California, San Bernardino, in Victorville, had this thing where military could pay, I think it was $20, and had unlimited bowls. So we would get there early, and we'd stay hella late, but I'd always be so upset because I'd have a horrible headache because they played their fucking music louder than a jet engine. Well, it was just ridiculous. It didn't seem peaceful at all, and like to talk to someone, I had to yell. So I'd be hoarse and deaf by the time I left.
Okay. So don't play the music too loud, and have a nice chill atmosphere where you can relax and hang out and actually enjoy your time there is what you're saying.
Yeah. So, like, I get it. Like, some people want to go to the club or whatever. That's never been my cup of tea, but that is other people's. And if you want to do that, then go down to the club. Don't go to a hookah lounge. I've never heard one called a hookah club. It's always a lounge-type area.
So Adrian said that he thinks that these things can coexist, right, Adrian?
Yeah, I do. I think that there's enough people that do want to smoke hookah in that type of atmosphere. Again, I think a lot of us aren't those people. I think we smoke hookah very much for the I guess you can call that type of a loud atmosphere a social environment, but it's a very different type. I like a conversational environment.
I could see that happening. So if you were to do a normal lounge Monday through Friday, and like even on Saturday mornings it's normal, and then as you get later in the afternoon, evening type time, like you crank the music up just a little bit. But dude, we'd get there at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'd stay till like 9, 10, 11 o'clock. And the moment you opened the door, it was just like, music!
It was
just absolutely crazy.
Ridiculous.
Oh, well, thank you.
You couldn't even really order. You had to point at the menu.
Well, thank you so much for calling,
Great.
Ken. We appreciate it, as always. You make sure and have a wonderful evening.
I was calling you to update you.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, so I called that guy today, like you said, because you gave me those pointers, and he said that sounded great, but he'd want to talk to me face-to-face about it. Ooh. So I got to go back there Friday, and he wants to talk to me about it.
That's exciting. So
hopefully that...
I'm gonna drop you off the call real quick, and I'm gonna tell Adrian and everybody what it was that I told you that you should try to do. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Take
bye.
it easy, boss.
All right. So the other thing that I told Ken that he should do, that I recommended that he do, is now that he has like this in with talking to this guy and being very knowledgeable about hookah, I said he should try to have because it's actually a vape shop more than anything that this place exists as. So I told him, I said, you should ask the guy if you could do a hookah night there. Don't do anything crazy. Maybe have 4 hookahs going with 4 different flavors, so it's not too crazy, and just do like a hookah night from 8 until 11 o'clock or something like that, so people can experience hookah and maybe learn a little bit about it, so they can maybe get into it a little bit. Because if they can build on that atmosphere of it being a hookah place, then maybe they can do some other cool stuff with it. So that's what I told him he should try to do. It sounds like the guy is okay with the idea, and they might be able to do something like that. So I thought that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
Kind of almost like a tasting event, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I thought.
I used to work with Alchemist back when they were trying to push real hard their KFC line, and I ran a few tasting events, and actually people really liked it. And again, I know Alchemist isn't their KFC line kind of flopped in a way, but it was so much better than what they were used to that people were begging for these lounges to get KFC in, and they wouldn't for whatever reason. Probably because it costs more than $6 per 250 wholesale.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I love the idea of just like a lounge being like, "Can you get us some KFC?" I love the idea of just the KFC line that you have to use every time you want to order. Like, can we get some KFC? We want some fresh KFC over in this lounge here.
Matt.
I just think that's fantastic. I don't know. All right, we're gonna take another 1 or 2 calls. Maybe we'll see what happens. The next caller on the line is area code 423. Area code 423. Who is this?
Hey, Matt, this is Brandon from the chat.
Oh, hey, Brandon. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing good. I ran into a little instance this weekend in Columbus at Hookah Rush that I needed to inform you guys about, because there's this epidemic going around that I think you guys may have taken part in starting.
What's going on? Adrian, I'm blaming you if this is a bad thing.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
So I'm sitting there in Hookah Rush. I'm smelling some trifecta flavors. And, I'm going up. I'm about to pay for my order. And all of a sudden this man walks in, and he's not making any eye contact, and he's just like rubbing his arms and whatnot, almost like a crackhead type of style. And the only words he's saying are "blue mist" over and over again. Like, man, those guys at the AM Hookah podcast don't know what they've started, man.
You're blaming us for the blue mist epidemic?
Yeah,
yo, Matt, that's your fault.
These men are addicted.
Oh, that I don't know how to take that. I don't know if I'm gonna take that as a compliment or if I'm gonna take it as a diss. But you know what? I'm gonna take it regardless of how you're trying to give it. Okay, it sound good?
Hey, this is just a warning.
All right. Well,
you gotta take it easy on that blue mist.
Now, Hookah Rush that you went to is actually also kind of a hookah lounge too, right? Or a retail store, but you're allowed to smoke hookah there as well, correct?
They weren't. He was smoking up front. The owner was.
Oh, okay.
But we didn't smoke with him. He was there by himself. So.
Okay. Do you have much experience when it comes to going to hookah lounges?
Yeah, we had a couple open up in the area, and they just didn't do it in our area. I think a lot of it was to do with the lack of experience and quick lights, and the whole loud music deal is always an issue. I don't know why lounges think that that's what they want, because I feel like most lounges I've been to about 5 lounges, and at least 4 of them played loud music.
It's just what they think they need to do for some reason. I don't know what it is either. So what to you would make a really good hookah lounge?
See, I want to piggyback on that idea that you were talking about earlier, is maybe like every Friday night have a tasting night and charge $10 at the door. Even if they just had 5 flavors, they usually charge $20 a bowl. They're going to make more money doing these tastings.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And people are going to spend, because some people don't want to spend their hard-earned money on flavor they don't know if they're going to like. For $20,
exactly.
So $10, they get to try multiple flavors.
How did you notice, Adrian, those tasting events work out for you when you were a part of them?
People loved it. People really do enjoy it because they're looking. Some people want some kind of an event, some reason to be somewhere, and it also gives the lounge the right to over-advertise a specific night of the week, which is why, like, people who open lounges that are strictly lounges. This is going to come out bad, but I'm pretty used to being aggressive and abrasive. Zach said something very true, that having people hang out in an area for 4 hours spending $20 for a bowl is not profitable. That does not work. To take care of 2 people come in, hang out for 3-4 hours, they spend $20 on a bowl. It's common etiquette to allow 2 people to share a hookah, right? Mm-hmm. So in the event that you have these people that come in to spend $20 over the course of 4 hours, that's 5 hours an hour, and you got to consider that they're being handled by the person that's serving them, as well as the hostess or host and whoever's packing the bowls. So that just easy arithmetic, simple math you don't make money doing that unless your lounge is packed 24/7. So there's all kinds of cool ideas, tasting events. I would like to see more lounges that are just straight up 50-50, like actual shops, like a smoke shop, fully loaded, and a lounge. It would take a lot more real estate, but that is one way to really get around needing to stretch for profit margin, which is, I feel like, a lot of the reason a lot of people, especially in Dearborn.
You say I can't.
Sorry about that. I didn't mute that right when it came in. Sorry about that. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Brandon. We appreciate it. Enjoyed the chat. We'll talk to you a little bit later, okay?
All right, see you guys.
Take it easy, man.
Do you want to finish what your thought was? Sorry about that, Adrian.
No, it's just, yeah, there's a lot of things you could do. I don't think if you're going to run a hookah lounge, you can just, unless you're like in a really populated area and you really destroy your competition, it's very difficult to turn an actual profit off of the straight up hookah lounge business style. Even here in Dearborn, shops close and open all the time because people who don't understand business open a lounge and then they realize, oh, this isn't profitable. And well, it is. You just have to be a little bit smarter about the way you do it. It's like any business. You have to put some forethought into how you're going to run it and profit.
So we have a couple more calls on the line. Obviously, we've reached our 7 o'clock or the hour and a half line that we usually try to stick to. Do you want to take one more call and then call it quits, or what do you want to do, Adrian?
We could probably take one more call.
Okay, we'll take one more call. This will be the last one for the evening. Area code 510. Area code 510. Who is this?
Oh, my God. What's going on, everybody?
Tommy, is this you again?
Eddie.
Oh, Eddie.
No, this is Eddie. This is
Eddie, what's up, man?
I'm just here working out in my garage. You know, I wanted to say hi to my friend Matt.
I think this is Paul. Paul, what are you doing, Paul? Stop saying you're Eddie all the time.
Matt, commit to the meme.
That's what everybody knows, man. You know, I'm just here. You guys talking about KFC? Now I'm hungry. I want fried chicken.
Oh, my gosh.
Outstanding.
Adrian, can you take this call? I can't do it.
Yeah, how you doing, buddy? What's going on? What's the haps? I'm supposed to ask you a
Nothing.
question.
You guys want to talk about the hookah lounges? And I went to
yeah,
a
the
very
hookah
bougie
lounges. Have you had a
lounge.
bad experience?
Yeah, I went to a very bougie hookah lounge when I went to the meetup in Florida, like maybe a week and a half ago. It's called the Flame House. I went there. You know what I saw the first time I walked in? Very quiet. The ambience very nice, like yellow light. There's like a brick wall. And then they said, "Oh, you want to smoke a hookah?" And I said, "Oh yeah, very much. I like the hookah." And then they say, "Oh, we have a mat there." I was like, "Oh my god, you got a mat there? What?"
Was this just your house?
Amazing.
Are you talking about your house?
Oh my gosh!
You're gonna make me break character.
Paul, what made this experience good? What made this a good hookah experience?
They had a very good tobacco.
Yeah.
They have everything that you want from the alfalfa all the way to the dark side.
Ooh, that's good. That's
so
good.
they can cater to the beginner, and they can cater to the very, very bougie, exclusive enthusiast.
Okay. That's very good to know. What makes a bad hookah lounge experience for you?
Quick lights.
Okay.
Not very good for you.
Not good for you. Okay.
Not very good for me. Everything in San Francisco right now, because they banned flavored tobacco, they have Hydro. Not very good.
Hydro.
All those hookah lounges, not good.
Hydro is a herbal brand, in case you may not know about that. It is Fantasia's herbal brand, in case you didn't know.
This is very true.
Very true.
I don't like it. It's not very flavorful.
All right. Well, Paul, you have answered so many great questions. I don't know what we would do without your wisdom. I mean, Eddie, you've answered all of our questions so well, and we don't know what we would do without your wisdom, obviously. So thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it very much.
Hey, you guys do a good job. Keep it up. I'll see you next weekend.
Okay.
See you, Eddie.
Bye,
Good, buddy.
Oh my gosh, that was fantastic. Thank you guys all so much for joining us this week. Tune in every Wednesday and Friday for more AM Hookah content, and make sure to hit that bell icon so you know the moment that we go live. If you want to find us all over the internet, you can, obviously, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just look up AM Hookah Podcast. And then thank you to Prestige Bubbles Coconut Charcoal, our favorite coal. They keep our hookahs lit and going well. And if you flick it away, be careful what you might hit, or you might make a mess, it turns out. And they're the coal that's all about the good vibes. Adrian, where can the stalkers find you on the internet?
We hit the light goal.
Oh, we did? Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for letting us hit that like goal again. We appreciate that so very much. I love it when we do. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. All right.
You asked me a question. Sorry, what was that?
Where can the stalkers find you on the internet if they're looking for you?
You can find better people to stalk, I promise.
No, you can't.
But if you want to see some YouTube reviews, some shenanigans, some hookah-related videos, you can find me over at Pipe Dream Hookah. I got unboxings, tutorials, reviews, little goofs and gaffs. Come check me out. If you want to see me on Instagram or Twitter, it's _Pipe Dream, and Facebook, Matt.
You can find me all over the internet as well. You can find me on Twitter at only Matt Dezen. You can find me on Instagram at Matt Dezen. You can also find me on Facebook all over the place as well. You can find our merch store at teespring.com am-merch-store and get yourself an awesome shirt like this. Adrian is wearing the Hawaiian print shirt, if you guys didn't realize.
It's a very good one. Would recommend it. It's
Would
limited
recommend.
edition. We might be sold out of this.
Might be. I don't know for sure. Thank you guys so much for participating, being a part of the show. We appreciate it as always. Keep your guys' hookahs clean and keep it smoking well. Until next time, keep on smoking. Bye.